In today's video, we're hiking into one of the world's most breathtaking natural wonders, Buckskin Gulch. Believed to be the longest slot canyon in the world, the hike into Buckskin Gulch is an adventure I will never forget with new views at every bend. While we didn't hike the whole canyon, we did get a great feel for how awe-inspiring this place is. If you choose to go here though, please keep the weather in mind as flash floods can be deadly. Here's all the information on this amazing hike that I did with my friend Chris from Last Adventurer. The trail starts at the Wire Pass trailhead, which is directly in between Kanab and Page, about an hour from each one. It's accessed by driving down an 8-mile dirt road, which can require 4-wheel drive and high clearance vehicles depending on the time of year. If you're hiking Buckskin Gulch, you need to get your permit in advance. They say you can do it right there, but a lot of people don't have reception, so I would recommend getting in advance. It's not too hard to get, that way you don't have to worry about reception here. Do note that there's a Buckskin Gulch trailhead a couple miles up the road, but everything I read said that hiking it from Wire Pass was much better, so that's why we did it this way. I'll leave a link to the All Trails map we used in the description. So this is the split for the wave, but you need to get a permit for that one. That's pretty hard to get. We'll show you a video of that hike tomorrow, but we're heading to the left. The first 1.25 miles of this trail is pretty boring, as you're basically just walking through a wash and it's really sandy. Well, we're about a 1/4 mile from the start of the first slot canyon, and then from there the trail gets really impressive. As you get closer to the beginning of the first slot canyon, you'll notice the sandstone walls start to come in on either side. Here's the break that if the ladder is gone from flash floods or anything, you can go around the slot canyon, but the ladder should be there, so we're heading through. Here we go, we are entering Wire Pass Slot Canyon. Wire Pass is the first slot canyon which comes off of Buckskin Gulch, and it's about a 1/2 mile long. This is why you don't want to be anywhere near when there's flash floods. You can see those trees getting stuck up there. Alright, about halfway through the canyon, there's a ladder. This is the part that you have to make sure it's here, or else you have to go around. It's about an 8-foot drop if there's no ladder. It's good that they have a way to go around this canyon, as it would be basically impossible to climb this section if the ladder wasn't here. Wow, this is incredibly cool, and you can see it's pretty narrow. If you're worried about claustrophobia, I would say that the Wire Pass Canyon was the most narrow that it was the entire time we were hiking here. There were sections that got within 8 to 10 feet in Buckskin Gulch, but here there were sections that were 3 to 4 feet. All right, we made it out of Wire Pass Slot Canyon, and now we are headed to Buckskin. Once you exit Wire Pass Slot Canyon, it's still another 1/4 mile till you meet the junction with Buckskin Gulch, and along the way there are a few more small slot canyons you go through. That was just another random slot canyon in between the two. Looks like we're heading into another one right now. This last slot canyon was less than 1/10 of a mile, but it was easily the most narrow at probably 2 to 3 feet in some sections. Plus there was a large boulder that you had to navigate right in the middle. Some of these sections are definitely one way as you're going through. Well, that's pretty impressive. I'll never forget the feeling of coming out of the slot canyon and seeing this arch right in front of me. And look at how massive it is with me right below it. This is cool. Can you guys believe how incredible this is? This massive, I think they call them blind arch, and then that slot canyon right there. We haven't even made it to Buckskin Gulch.
Petroglyphs.
That's cool.
I know, don't touch. Your oils will disintegrate the rock art, so look but don't touch.
I was pretty impressed with how well preserved these were, and there are about a 6 of them on the south side rocks. So we have reached the end of the trail, and this is where Buckskin Gulch starts. You can either head up to the upper section or head down to the lower section, but almost everybody I've talked to has said to go this way. If you take the upper portion, I heard it goes through a canyon for about 2 miles and then another 2 miles of dirt walking to get to the other parking area. All right, here we go. We're entering Buckskin Gulch, and from here, the longest slot canyon in the world at around 15 miles. What follows in the rest of this video is some of the best slot canyons I've ever seen in my entire life. That being said, it might seem like the same thing over and over again, but trust me, this is a place you really do want to experience. You guys, look at how amazing this is. It reminds me of being in Antelope Canyon, except that we're here by ourselves. Wow. I can't remember the last time I've been on a hike this cool. This is every bend. You don't know what's gonna come at the next bend. It is blowing my mind. Like, look, there's another bend right there. You can see the staggering differences in the canyon depending on the light, as all 5 of these clips are from within 10 minutes of walking. I shot everything with an ultra wide angle lens, which is what allowed me to capture so much of the canyon. Because it's so long and the views are so amazing everywhere you're at, we are basically never around anyone else the entire time we were on the trail. I'd venture to say that on this Sunday in the middle of spring, we probably passed 15 total people the entire 4 hours we were out. We've been walking for about an hour and 15 minutes and about 3¼ miles or so. And it's just hard to want to turn around at all because every one of these views just keep getting better and better. And we are in a deep canyon right now. Look at this light. Have you ever seen anything like this before? Check this out. You can see how high the water level is. It's probably about 15 feet up when you're going through the canyon. Don't be anywhere near this when it's raining. Now it's getting a little dark and ominous as we go through here. Most of this canyon has been pretty wide, but this part is definitely getting a little bit more narrow again. Also, bring a jacket. It's like 20-25 degrees cooler down here than it is when you're in the sun. As we continued to walk through the canyon, you got more and more reminders of how high the water levels could get. This one particularly was about 50 feet above us. As we left the narrow section behind, the gulch opened up a lot, and we even saw a bird flying through it, which is not something I would have expected. If you're looking at the All Trails map, this is the overlook area, which is where most people turn around. We're gonna go a teeny bit farther and then we're gonna head back to. Right along the bend, here's another one of those incredibly cool arches. And then it opens up a little bit right here. So this area is our official stopping point and a good place for a snack. I don't know how it works, but honestly, I would love to come back and like backpack and do the entire thing. This is just such a cool hike. One of the coolest ones I've done in a very long time.
11 out of 10. Definitely one of the top 10 hikes in the whole North American continent.
That's coming from a lot because Chris has done at least 3 hikes in the North American continent. So to say it's in the top 10.
4.5 at least.
We spent a good 30 minutes here just having some snacks and taking in the views. And again, we didn't see any other people while we were here. All right, that's the turnaround point for us on this hike. I'm gonna show you a lot more Slot Canyon videos on the way back if you're interested. If not, we'll see you on the next one. Boo! Messed up my shot. Boo! Oh! Can Chris do it? Can Chris do it? Oh, he did it. Well done. So if you're keeping track, this last/first slot canyon is the hardest. It has the most things you have to climb up and down. The rest of it is actually pretty easy, just pretty wide, and you can just walk right down the middle. We've made it back to the boring part, so if you stayed all the way to the end, thanks. We'll see you on the next one, and absolutely do this hike if you're interested at all. Pops wouldn't do it, so that's why I said if you're interested at all. We'll see you on the next one.